Welcome everyone, it's Fury here. Welcome in another tutorial. This is gonna be part 2 of the multiplayer, so we're gonna figure out some things, and finish this up. But first of all, I forgot in the last video to include this website because I haven't been doing these tutorials for long, so I forgot to do this little advertisement over here. This is a website I'm collaborating with, and yeah, there is a lot of CRYENGINE tutorials over here. A lot of mine tutorials in the programming section. Yeah, you get a lot of UI tutorials of mine too, and there is new guy doing tutorials. I haven't seen his videos yet, but I gotta check this out. So you have caves, tunnels, and stuff like this, and a level creation. So there's a lot of tutorials, and there will be more. So keep in touch with this. Alright, so let's get back to our project from the last video. Honestly, I kind of forgot what we did there and what we have to do now, and so let me think a little while. So I'm just gonna okay. What I'm just gonna do is just I'll run the dedicated server on this, and I'm gonna just see what we've got so far. Okay. Let's see what we've got. All right, connect. Alright, so we are able to connect. Let's go further on and run another instance of the game. Just looking around what we finished with on the last video, so yeah. Connect. Alright, so these entities are able to see each other, right? Okay. Right, okay, so what we're gonna take care of is a shooting, basically. Because as you can see, on this entity that I'm using now, you can see the bullets coming out of the rifle, but on the other one there is none. So basically what we've got to do here is we're gonna obviously go to C++ and do stuff. I'm gonna teach you something now, because on the last videos we used the aspects to send these values over to through the network to the other players. The more I can say about this aspect is that where the hell is that? Okay, here. Basically, what this does is it sends information to the server from client to server, and then server, what it does is server automatically will update it to all of the clients. So this is like from client to server, and then it just updates everywhere. Alright, so there is this is one thing, aspects I was talking about in the last video. There is also a second way to send values and informations through the network, and these are called RMIs. The thing about them is that they don't really they're not really good for sending sorry they're not really good for sending a huge amount of information like aspects are. So yeah, basically what we've got to do first, you have to register them or create them first of all, maybe. So we had some parameters here, or we haven't. let's see, because I don't remember that clearly. Okay. Okay. Let's give it some space over here. So, we wanna call the function on the server and then call the same function on all the clients. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create another method in here where the network was here. Let's comment it out, RMIs or RMI. So basically how RMI look is bool. Let's do server fire. And now we have to do the params. So well, we basically don't need any params, as I think. Wait, let me think. Yeah, we don't really need any params, or we do. Let me think. I don't think we need any, so let's just do the parameters at the moment. Structure, structure no params, and now we're gonna go with the nothing, pretty much just the void. But since I don't remember how this function looks like, just give me a second so I can find it out somewhere else. Okay, not here. Come on. Alright, I got this. So basically how this is gonna look like is void wave, and we're gonna go and no parameters. If you wanna send any values through the RMI, so just go here, like, I don't know, entity ID or int or string or whatever you want, and then you put it over here. I might show it later, but okay, for now no params, it's okay. So let's come back to this function we were creating before. So basically what this does is you pass the no params, so we want one function to be fired on server and the other one on client. So SV, obviously server, CL client. Create the definitions of them. They are over here. They have to return true. So now let's go to this thing. So what the shot does pretty much is just spamming bullet. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just grab all of this code up to this point here, cut it and paste it in this client fire. So basically, okay, let's go back here. Now we're gonna registrate our RMIs. We got two RMI functions. They have to have some parameters, and they have to have this here. So, and you have to registrate them on both server and client. So do not put them here because this is client only. So I'm gonna I have to include something. It was saying CRYENGINE network, I guess. RMIs. Okay. So the RMI registration looks like this. SRMI. Now you choose the function, so you're gonna go svfire, register this, and what these things are, you can read about them probably on the CRYENGINE website. CRYENGINE. There's probably no information about this, but I think you can find information about this in some older documentation, like 2013, because not much have changed. Pre-attach, post-attach, anti-aspect data, blah blah blah, all this shit, and that's should be. As you can see, these are RMIs flags over here. So to client channel, to all other clients, to all clients, to remote clients, but we're gonna take care of this later. This is slightly different now, but it doesn't matter. What they're looking for is no attach. That's the things over here. I know they look different, but you know, this is old documentation, and CRYENGINE 5.4 I'm using now, so slightly different, but you can see that this is just a naming. So you can see what the pre-attach is, post-attach, no attach. You can see what these are, okay? And also reliable order. You can find information about this. I don't have time for this to explain. Okay, now we have to register another RMI, which is CL fired. We're gonna leave the same. And now we're gonna go down here to our functions actually. Oh, sorry, not. To the fire function, where the shot begins. This is called only on the client. So when you press the mouse 1 button, it's gonna fire this. So how you actually call the RMIs is SRMI, RMI, wrap, damn it. I don't know why is it not showing up here, but it doesn't matter. And now something very important. You have to actually define if you want to call this on server, on the remote clients, on other clients, on client, or on all clients. This is a client area, yeah? You press the button and shut happens. So you can't call it on other clients. You have no access to other computers. What you can do from the client is invoke on server. And now invoke on server, you got this. Now no params. If you put something different, it's gonna fail because this function has no params over there. No params, like this, pretty much. So that's the way you press the button, and it's gonna be called this function will be called on the server. It's pretty cool. It's very good for example, inventory systems. When you send the items to from player to player, it's very cool. Okay, now we are on the server now. Server fire happens, and so what we're basically gonna do now, we're gonna send this message to all the clients. We're gonna call this function on all of the clients, because just look, if you shot over here and spam the bullet and all the stuff, and then send it to the server, then the other players will have delay. So in order to, get rid of this and make it fair for everyone, you send it to the server, and then server sends it at the same time to all of the clients, including yourself. So you are actually requesting this fire. You could call it even a server request fire, yeah, because you are requesting this fire from the server. So server says, okay, you can fire. Obviously, in normal circumstances, I would go like, do I have ammo or something, But in this case, it's gonna be enough. So now we're gonna call this RMI on clients. So as RMI, as always, RMI wrap player component and then CL fire. Okay. And now invoke on all clients. If you go invoke on client, then you have to add also the channel ID here. The channel ID, which is if you want to send it directly to one client only, which is pretty cool. Many times you're gonna want to do it. So, but for now we're gonna invoke on all clients. This no params, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is gonna call this function on the clients, and all the clients will shut out the bullet. But basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna also debug it. So so on the client we're gonna see that these functions are actually called on server, on client as well. Okay, so just to build it. And run the game. Dedicated server first. Put a side in here. Run 2 instances of the game. Actually, this instance could go over here. Oh, sorry, I forgot to. Okay, so it's over here on this screen. The first instance, so the game is here. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just open another instance of the game on the middle screen. Alright, these guys are on the stage already, so yeah. I want this instance, okay. Okay, they're both over here. So you're gonna be able to see it now. On both, on left screen and right screen, you can see that the bullets work properly. So we just send the information about sending the bullets, to the server on both. You can see it over here, as well as on this screen here, that one. Okay. So basically that would be it, because I was just going to show you the RMI's functionality, which is quite cool and very important for the multiplayer games. Actually, these RMIs are used so frequently, at least by me, in my games, that aspects are not even going into work, So, oh, actually, I forgot to see if it's actually showing the message. Shut on the client was shown here, and on the server console you should see shut on server. Don't need this anymore. Yeah. What else can you do? You can, using RMIs, you can create login system for your server. You can create a lobby system. A lot of stuff really. But as I said, I was going to show you how to also send values through the RMI. So actually I'm gonna create quickly some other structure over here. We're gonna call tutorial params. Let's send over the network like string name. Let's call over the network like something like int channel ID, let's say, and we're gonna also entity ID. Okay, so now we're gonna go with the serialized value, name of the value, actually the variable itself, and then for the strings you're gonna use compression policy stab. Okay, it's gonna make it faster to send it over network. Serialized value, channel ID, channel ID as well. This is integer, which you don't do anything with this, and also serialized value, ID. Normally, I remember in old CRYENGINE there was compression policy called EID, which was, you know, doing the same thing like this, but for the entity IDs type. But now, for some reasons, this doesn't work, and it passes 0 to the other side. So bullshit. Okay, what we're gonna do now? We're gonna grab these params and swap them over here. You can do for the both of them, but I'm just gonna do one of these methods. So okay, I'm just showing you something, so it's not a big deal. I'm gonna just pass these values over here. So we have first, it goes chronologically, so you got first, second, and third. So name is the string value first. Let's do name. Maybe get entity, get name. Okay. Second value is, for example, channel ID or something else. So we're gonna go get entity, get net entity, get channel ID. Okay, and third value is actually entity ID. So we're gonna just go get entity ID. Okay, now these three values will be sent to the server from client to server, obviously. You know, you could send entity ID of the weapon that you wanna drop or pick up or something like this, exactly the same way. I'm just gonna log it because I don't really have time for this. So crylog always. So we're gonna send the crylog always name string, channel is digit, and also we have entity ID is also digit in the end of the day. So I'm gonna go p dot name, p dot channel ID, p dot ID. It's pretty much all. Since it's not integer properly, so we're just gonna do this little conversion to make sure. Okay, so once again I'm gonna just build a game. Oh, also, if you wanna debug server instead of debugging the player, the game, you can just go here and press set a start project. So now you're debugging server pretty much instead of, you know, normal game. So sometimes server crashes because you did something wrong in here, like you're trying to open UI element in on the server side, which is gonna crash the server immediately. So that's the way you can debug the server. So I'm gonna go and run the server now, see if everything works, if it prints the message that we want, and if the values are the values that we wanted. Launch game. We don't need other player now, so I'm just gonna do this. It's very cool thing about the sending parameters and all the RMIs things, because you get the you can send message that somebody killed someone else, or all these things that necessary for the multiplayer game. So I'm gonna just shoot now, and this message will be shown on the server side over here in the console. So I'm gonna put it down here, so it should show up over here. So I'm gonna shoot, and as you can see, it says play name is player 0, channel is 0, and entity ID is ID. So you can use this for whatever purposes you want for your game. So I think that would be it for the multiplayer. If you have any other question, you can always approach me and ask, but I'm gonna be doing more tutorials about multiplayer games, but not particularly about the multiplayer. I'm just gonna be using multiplayer for things that I want to use. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video, and take care.